Dear students, after detailed discussion of characteristic properties of physical and chemical change, let's discuss comparison of both on the basis of their dissimilarities. So let's have first point of comparison. During physical change, no new substance is formed. Chemical composition remains same. Whereas during a chemical change, a new substance is formed with different composition. We can take any example of chemical change. For example, photosynthesis. During photosynthesis, entirely different substance, food and oxygen is formed from water and carbon dioxide. We can take example of digestion as well. During digestion, food get broken and get converted to easily absorbable, easy substances. Like carbohydrate get digested and get converted during that to glucose, which is a chemical change because carbohydrates are complex substances in comparison to the simplest of the carbohydrate, that is glucose. Similarly, proteins get digested to amino acids. So digestion is a chemical change. Whereas during physical change, no new substance is formed. Just apparently it may look different. Like ice melts to look different as water. But no new substance is formed. Composition is same. Water before converting to liquid and water before converting to liquid, that is in solid form as well. Ice is H2 molecules only. After melting as well, it is H2 only. Similarly, we can take any of the other example of the physical change. Let's take second point of comparison. Change can be reversible or irreversible. So children, you should not understand the reversible change to be same as physical change, because most of the physical changes are reversible, but some of the physical changes may not be reversible. In our previous video, we discussed cutting of carrot, a physical change which is not reversible. Breaking of glass, tearing of paper, physical change but not reversible. Whereas chemical changes are mostly irreversible. Is it irreversible? That is wrong. Irreversible. Chemical changes are mostly irreversible. Irreversible means they cannot be converted back to previous substance. But why we are saying mostly? Because we have discussed one example that some of the chemical changes, very few though, can be reversible. For example, formation of ammonia from hydrogen and nitrogen is a reversible change. N2 plus 3H2 gives 2NH3. This is the sign of reversible. 2NH3. This is a chemical change because from nitrogen and hydrogen, entirely different substance, ammonia is formed, but this change is reversible. So some of the chemical changes may be reversible, but most of them are irreversible. So this is not irreversible and reversible. Is not very good idea for understanding a change to be a physical or chemical, as we have already seen that most of physical changes are reversible and most of chemical changes are irreversible, but it is not always. Let's come to the third one. The change can be reversed by simple physical methods, like making solution of something. Sugar got dissolved in water, which is simple method. By simple method, it got converted, means sugar got disappeared and looks a different substance. But once you evaporate the water, we can get the sugar back, though sugar now may not be in the form of crystal, but we can get the sugar back by simple physical method. So children, what are simple physical method? Heating, cooling, evaporating, mixing, filtering, sedimentation and decantation, centrifugation, all the methods which we discussed in the chapter of separation of mixtures are example of simple physical method. Churning, all these are simple physical methods, and in a mixture as the substances stay separate, that's why they can be separated by simple physical methods. For chemical methods that is not possible. For example, hydrogen and oxygen, when hydrogen burns, it combines with oxygen to form water. It is a chemical change, entirely different substances formed. But by any physical means, we cannot get converted water back to hydrogen oxygen. The method that we use, passing electric current in acidulated water, is not a simple physical method. It is a complex chemical method by which we can separate hydrogen and oxygen from water. So no simple method of separation can be used to get the previous substances back in case of a chemical change. Let's come to fourth point. Heat or light. Not necessarily these two forms of energy only, because energy exists in different forms, but mostly these two forms of energy are used during formation of a physical or chemical change, both. But in case of physical change, heat energy or light energy may or may not be released or absorbed. It means in some of the physical methods, heat or light energy may be needed, or it is absorbed or produced. Take example of evaporation. Evaporation is a physical change. When we heat the water, it get evaporated and get converted to gaseous water, but it is a physical change and heat is needed for it. If we don't heat it, then also heat is needed, because then it absorbs the heat of atmosphere to get evaporated. Okay, but similarly, what about the light? When we switch on a bulb start glowing. It produces light energy. So apparently it should be a chemical change, because the energy is being produced, but actually no new substance is formed. How? Electric current is a form of energy. We say electrical energy. When electrical energy passes through the filament of the bulb, then what happens? Filament is made up of a peculiar substance and tungsten, and while passing electric current through it, the electrical energy gets converted to another form of energy, that is light energy, and a little bit of it also gets converted to heat energy. So though change of energy is taking place, energy of one type, that is electrical energy, is getting converted to another type of energy, that is light energy and heat energy. But otherwise, the material of this filament and weight of this filament remains unchanged before glowing bulb and after switching on the bulb when it stops glowing. So even if energy is produced, it is not a chemical change. Now look at heat or light, or both are given out or absorbed during chemical reaction. So all the sort of burning are example in which heat and light, both energy get produced during the chemical reaction. But in some of the chemical reaction, energy is not seems to be producing, rather it is absorbed. We discussed exothermic and endothermic reactions in our previous class, and I wrote in the classroom as well the definition of exothermic and endothermic reaction. So to understand it, you understand like this. Take an example of this reaction only. Nitrogen and hydrogen combine to form ammonia is a chemical reaction, and during this we need 450 degrees Celsius temperature and very high pressure and presence of catalyst and another thing, but we are talking right now only about the temperature. Till the temperature is maintained at 450 to 500, the reaction continues. If the temperature drops, then reaction stops. Why so? Because heat is being absorbed by nitrogen and hydrogen molecules to get converted to ammonia. This sort of reactions are said to be endothermic reaction. In endothermic reaction, heat is absorbed, or you can say more heat is absorbed and less heat is released. To understand it, take it like this, that all chemical reactions are about breaking of previous bond and formation of new bond. So which previous bond are breaking over here? Nitrogen molecules bond will break to separate it to nitrogen atoms. Hydrogen molecules bond will also break to form hydrogen atom, and then nitrogen and hydrogen atom will combine to form ammonia molecule NH3. It means with one nitrogen atom, 3 hydrogen atom combine and form one ammonia molecule. During all this process, first previous bonds are broken. Why previous bonds are broken? Because we want the molecules in the form of atom, because you have read several times that atoms take part in chemical reaction, not the molecules. So molecules get broken to atoms by breaking of previous bond, by which those atoms were combined to stay in the form of molecule, and then new bonds are formed. When new bonds are formed, then some amount of energy is released. Now it is like geometrical sum with plus and minus. If more energy is absorbed for breaking of bond and less energy is released by formation of new bond, then the reaction will be endothermic reaction. Whereas if less energy is absorbed and more energy is produced, then the reaction is exothermic. Take example of burning of anything like coal. Carbon burns to form carbon dioxide, and with this a lot of heat energy is produced. This triangle is the symbol of heat. So how come this happens? It happens because though in the starting some heat is needed for breaking of bond, that's why you know that coal is heated. It does not start burning on its own, but once its previous bonds are broken and new bonds are formed to form carbon dioxide, then so much heat energy is released, then you need not to continue heating. Rather, heat itself is produced and you feel the warmth around. This type of chemical reaction in which less energy is absorbed for breaking of previous bond and more energy is released by formation of new bond, such reactions are said to be exothermic reactions. So, heat or light energy may or may not be released or absorbed during physical change. Most of the time, involvement of heat is very little or less. Whereas, and actually when the change is reversed, then same amount of heat energy is, if released, if it was absorbed, and absorbed if it was released. I give you an example. If ice is heated, it gets converted to water. As much amount of heat energy is absorbed by ice to get converted to water. If same amount of heat energy is absorbed from the water, then it gets converted back to ice. And during this, the net gain or loss of heat energy becomes zero. First, heat energy was absorbed by the ice. Then heat energy was given back, means released by the water to getting converted back to ice. So sum total of the energy released and absorbed becomes zero when the change is reversed in case of physical changes. Whereas in chemical changes are mostly not reversible and energy is either released as in case of exothermic reaction or energy is absorbed as in the case of endothermic reaction.